I made an album in 24 hours, all live on my very first live stream. In this video, I just want to talk about my process, break down some of the ways I was thinking, and just generally recap the whole experience because honestly, it was one of the most exciting things I've done thus far on this YouTube path. Let's get into it. If you were here for the last one, I did a 24-hour stream, and the album is out now, but I didn't get any of the footage because YouTube doesn't save streams past 24 hours, so we have to do it again. So I'm gonna do it again tonight, and I want to start off by just listening to the project from the live stream. So the idea came to me really like 7 months before the stream even existed. I was outside talking with my friends, talking about, just kind of like my YouTube journey thus far. And, I always kind of wanted to get into live streaming, but I didn't really know the best way as to how to approach that. And in that very moment, I came up with the idea to do a 24-hour live stream, and I just make as much music as I possibly can. That was sort of the initial premise. I just wanted to kind of see the extent of my creativity in a 24-hour time period with no breaks. I want to start it off like, close to your ears, and then like slowly automate the reverb. You know what I'm saying? No rules for this project. It was turn the camera on, record the screen, 24 hours on the clock, make as much music as you possibly can until you just burn out. You have to reach 24 hours. That was the whole, goal essentially of the stream, the creative process. How did I decide what style, theme, or mood the album would have? I wasn't really thinking of a theme or mood to stretch the entire length of the project. Kind of was just more going with the flow of things. I realized in those videos where I made a song in an hour that overthinking is what halts my output. The more I kind of second-guessed certain choices that I made or went back on things that I just put down, it would kind of slow down the process. So I really, truly had to just get in the mindset of don't overthink and just execute, just put things down. So whatever ideas kind of initially came to my head were the ones that I went with for the song or for that moment. Typically, when I made a song, I started always with the instrumental, and within the instrumental, I usually always started off with the chords. There were some songs where I started off with the drums just so I can play chords to the drum pattern. But typically I start off with the chords of the drums and then build from there. All right, or just get something down just to... Building off of that makes it easy, when it comes to thinking of melodies or other sounds or a bass line. And even vocals. And when I would have like a vocal inspiration, during the creation of a track, I would just immediately go to lay that down just so I don't forget. Because I realized that if I sit in front of the stream and write music, write lyrics, it's just gonna take a long time, and it's not really too, engaging to watch that, in my opinion. I don't wanna be sitting there for 30 minutes to an hour just writing the song and then laying it down. So I instead punched in most of my lyrics and was writing lyrics just kind of in my head. I was just, going with the flow, whatever the first line or whatever came to my head, laid that down, continue on to the next, do some layers, do some, once I kind of had some, formation of a verse or something, maybe I would re-record that or so on and so forth. But that's kind of essentially how I made most of these tracks. That was kind of the order of operations, if you will.
This, I see them eyes asking questions, how you flow like this. Just gotta flow like this. I see them eyes asking questions, how you flow like this. I've been trying to let them know for a minute now.
So when it came to hitting creative blocks, I hit a lot of creative blocks specifically when it came to writing lyrics. And that's something I've tried to overcome and work through by pushing myself in these ways of, not overthinking stuff and then just laying down whatever the first thing comes to my mind, because I also have to think I can always come back and change things and fix things. And I did do that a couple times in the stream. You would see me lay down some lyrics, lay down some lines that worked, but they weren't really my favorite. And then I ended up kind of coming back to those and changing them to make them, work better or, just feel better in my head.
Don't forget the pen, don't forget the pen, let it wash out the pen. Don't forget the pen, don't forget the pen.
I really just had to not overthink. I mean, I know that's easier stated than done, but truly I think this comes with a lot of repetition. I feel like the only way you can get to that point is if you do this a lot. So I kind of got used to just like go with the flow, go with whatever's in my head. Because I know I have the skills to lay these things down. A lot of the things that halt my creative process is just like, maybe this could be a little bit better. And then I start to think about what I could do to make this a little bit better. And then that sends me down a spiral of, fixing and tweaking certain things, which don't really progress the actual song making process. The other thing I want to say is that because I was under the pressure of the clock, it kind of enforced the idea that I just kind of had to put things out. During the process, a lot of people were asking me like, what was getting me through all this? And to be honest, for the first stream, it was just pure excitement and just sheer willpower. The second stream, I was really out to just like get my get back. This was the get my get back stream, and I needed to get this footage. So I was kind of running off of like, I lost the first one. I need to get this back. I just want to make this happen. I put so much effort into the first one and there's nothing to show for it, so I need to get this back. I'm still rocking strong, but this one's getting tough, man. This one's tougher than the last one. I don't know. I guess I'm just so bummed, I was low-key depressed that the last one is just gone. I'm mixing as I'm going, and really all that entails is leveling. I find that leveling is pretty crucial for mixing. It's the thing that I take into the most consideration is where do things sit, loudness wise in the track. So I'm leveling while I'm making the track.
I like the way you lay it down on me. We can run it back, it just depends. Let's make it easy tonight. Let's make it easy, cause I just wanna take things slow. Yeah. Take the stress on your mind. Take it off, forget about that, let it go.
The mental and physical experience. Overall, I kind of felt fine. There were some moments where, and I was lucky enough to be at home in LA, and I was able to have access a standing desk, which I feel the standing desk kind of changed the whole game. If I had to sit down in a chair the whole time and do this, I probably would have fallen asleep, and I probably would have gotten way more exhausted faster. The standing desk truly changed the game, man. Mentally, like I said, before I even started doing this, I kind of already was training myself mentally of like turning out songs faster, just going with the flow. So mentally, I felt all right. I feel like my decline came towards like maybe the last 25% of the stream. I feel like mentally I was running out of ideas. I was getting exhausted. I didn't even feel like standing up anymore. And that's when I called in a lifeline. I had to call in my bro, Aman.
Yo, wait, say something? Yo, how long have you been in here for?
Just now. I just.
Oh, okay, cool. Alright. Okay, bro. You're on the stream now.
Yo.
You're on the stream.
Good.
I ain't got no time for you at all. Please get out my head, get out my head, get out my hair, get out my business, bitch. Got no time for this at all. Please don't talk and get involved. You got no confidence at all. Niggas talk and they get cold. Niggas hot and then they cold. Niggas switch up on the code. I can't switch from my bro. Day one, it was cold. I was treasured through the snow. I got big snow boots on my feet. I see the print. Never wearing cheetah print. Fast like a cheetah sprint.
There's a moment in the stream where I get up, do a whole IRL thing, and I make some food. Because I was thinking, okay, what's it like? You know, I don't want to Uber Eats anything. That's kind of lame. I also need a way to like truly give myself a break. So I was like, let's just like, you know, bring it into the kitchen and like make some food from scratch. Because really the whole theme of this is I'm doing everything from scratch. The food, the beats, everything. You know what I'm saying? For today's kitchen segment, we're gonna do some Thai, some green curry. Hanging out in the kitchen. Cooking food, just chilling, trying to survive. You know how it is. If I had more time, what would I change about the album? That's a good one. You know, okay, the one thing I would have liked to change is certain things feel like they don't go too well into each other. I mean, when I listen to the thing as a whole, I feel like the transitions and from song to song, they fit very nice together. But towards the end of the stream, I kind of was almost getting opinions from you guys on what songs should go next, you know, or the order of songs. I feel like that was something I kind of struggled with.
Okay, so don't forget Lose Control and then Lose Control into Dream State. Like, I don't know. I feel like you're right. I think it needs to end with it more chill. Yeah, definitely on some yeah, that's too weird, bro. That's too weird. I feel like I gotta switch. Like it's got, I feel like these should be later. These should be later. That one, definitely Get Back. Get Back's got to be. I think Get Back into Dream State is low key more of the move.
There were some moments where I was like, man, if only I made a song like this to sort of bridge the gap, then I feel like it would flow even nicer than it already does. So that would kind of be one thing I would change. But everything else I kind of felt pretty confident on. Like, I wouldn't really change anything about any specific song. I feel like they're pretty much like good to go. This experience taught me a lot about myself and my limits, you know, my bounds, how far I can go. It showed me that when it came down to it, I can always produce something. That's something I always struggle with. And I always had that feeling where it's like, okay, well, if this stuff that I'm making right now is my best work, you know, the next stuff could be complete trash. And that having that in my head made me feel like, oh man, like when I come up with something cool or what feels like my masterpiece, I would stop and kind of just sit with it for a while. With all the time and the effort and the practice I put into making music, this shit never trends downward. At least in my eyes, I always feel like everything I'm making is fun and exciting and new. So, you know, the amount of times I was saying in my head, like, thank God I've done this a million times. I've mixed a song a million times. I've mastered a song a million times. I recorded vocals and stuff. It's just, if you don't have to worry about those things during the creative process, it makes it easier to just create. You know, when people say practice your stuff, like really practice your stuff so it becomes second nature. You know, you're fluid with it. You have command over the instrument, over your voice, over all this. So then those things don't become an obstacle. You know, you can just see through. And the only obstacle that you have is, you know, how do I make this song sound dope? In the description of this video, there's going to be 3 links. There's my Patreon page, which if you can support me and subscribe to that, do so. But feel free to just follow me there for free regardless, because I do release free stuff. So for the subscribing people, I release something every week. I have like a 4-week release cycle. So on the first week, I release a sample pack. On the second week is a drum pack. On the third week is a virtual instrument. And on the last week, it's a unreleased song, demo, and all the stems. The second thing is Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. I need that shit to get popping. I need everybody to get over there. We gotta work that thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be posting more on there. Anybody who follows me and sends me a message on Instagram, I'll DM you a free sample pack. These are 10 original, unique samples. I'll give you all the stems, all that. And lastly, stream the project. It's out on all platforms. Stream it everywhere. Stream 48 hours. It really means a lot. Just check out this whole body of work. I think it's some of my best stuff today. So with that being said, peace, yo. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna go because it is time. The get back is got. The get back has been got. So no more. And I feel like the songs this time around are even better. They're even better than the last one. But I will say, like, I love the energy of the first stream, man. But you know, it's all good. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for joining me on this journey. You know, follow me everywhere you can or wherever you want me to. YouTube is a great place for. I keep things updated on there. I'm still working on a couple things, but yeah, you'll hear from me soon. You'll hear from me soon, man. Alright, thanks, y'all. Peace out, man.